All right.
How are you doing today?
This is Monday's video, by the way. It's for Monday's workout.
Monday's workout. We're filming them all. We're filming a bunch. I get confused.
That's not hard to do. All right.
What are we talking about today?
We're
talking
talking
campgrounds.
campgrounds.
Still closed.
So state parks, I guess are open, but the Division of Wildlife's closing campgrounds, something like that. I mean, it doesn't apply to BLM land, which is great, but for those of us who'd like to camp on BLM land because there's nobody around us, you're gonna have a lot more people camping on BLM lands, and I guess from my standpoint, I'm concerned about what that's gonna do to taking care of the earth, because when I camp on BLM lands, pack it in, pack it out, we have very little trash and things that we do have with us, we take out with us. But I know a lot of times when I'm in regular campgrounds, that's not the case. There's trash on the ground, plastic silverware, cigarette butts. They're just, fortunately, the Division of Wildlife will come and clean that stuff up for you. But when you're on BLM lands, nobody's coming out to clean those things up. And so I feel like I always try to do my part when I'm hiking, when I'm camping, like find trash, I pick it up. Some people think that's disgusting, that I would touch somebody else's trash, but I feel like that's my duty, is to give back to the earth, and that's what I do.
Yeah, we'll try to find that link to the petition to reopen campgrounds in Colorado. I think it's really un-American, and I think it's just gone beyond a little crazy that you have to close a campground to a family. I think there's enough social distancing at a campground that families can enjoy that. I think it's kind of crazy that they're so close.
Well, Sean put it on CRCO the other day. He said, you know, what does everyone think? Do you think it's social distancing at a campground? And I would say yes. I mean, you go camping with typically the people who live in your home, and then the next campsite is at least 20 feet away.
Yeah.
So if you choose of your free will to interact with those people at another campsite, I get that's a concern, that people are using their free will to interact with other people. But in the same respect, how am I supposed to social distance in a grocery store? The aisles aren't even 6 feet wide.
Yeah. So, well, and I love Home Depot. Nothing against Home Depot. Jenny doesn't want to see the Home Depot bill for all the improvements we've done around the gym. So let's hit this workout.
All right, sounds good. I'm going to go ahead. This is a long one today. It is meant to be. It took me about 28 minutes, and I know the
35 minutes, probably 5
Peanut
minutes.
Gallery always says, well, if it took her that long, then it's going to take me twice as long. But I want it to be scaled in a way, and I really think I did it with weight. Most of you at home, you're going to see body weight movements, so I think that should cut down your time. I want you to move quickly because you're going to have a nice 2-minute rest between the exercises. So I'm going to talk about it. John's going to demonstrate, as long as he knows what CrossFit movements are. So a little bit of warm up. I guess I just want to see. Sorry, I should start there.
Run 1 mile sounds like
well, it's going to be part of the warm up. Part of the warm up is the beginning part of the workout. But in addition to that, I think we should get some dynamic stretching going. So want to see some windmills here. 10 of those. Oh, so tight. And then virtual good morning. So on my good morning, I'm hinging at the hip. Stand nice and tall. I like to put my hands behind my head. You can hold them out to the side, but I'm keeping my legs straight and bending at the hip and keeping my back nice and flat. Just about 10 of those. And then just a couple squats, good form squats, as John talked about in other videos, where you're keeping your chest nice and high, and think about screwing your heels into the floor, keeping your knees nice and strong, not letting them cave in on you. You should look down. They should be tracking right over your feet. And then we'll get to the workout. So, you've got run 1 mile. If you cannot run 1 mile, then for 8 minutes, I'd like you to alternate between mountain climbers, jumping jacks, jump rope if you have it, and jog in place. So you can alternate, because doing that for 8 minutes would, number one, just be boring. But number two, you need to mix it up a little bit. So alternate every 45 seconds or so for 8 minutes through those movements if you are unable to run. You're gonna come back, you're gonna rest for 2 minutes. So after your 8 minutes or after your mile run, you're gonna rest for 2 minutes. Then you're gonna do 30 air squats, 30 push-ups, 20 air squats, 20 push-ups, 10 air squats, 10 push-ups. So I want John to kind of go through good form on the air squats so you can see he keeps his chest nice and tall. Keeping his arms up overhead helps him to keep his chest up and keep his torso nice and strong. As he comes down, he screws his heels into the floor, presses his knees outwards slightly, laterally, so that he has a nice, good position there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Whoa.
Good. Very nice.
Push ups, let's go. Let's keep this cranking. Let's go.
All right, push-ups. Go ahead and go through your push-ups. Hold your body in a good position. No snaking up and down. Keep your elbows in tight towards your body. Think about pressing through the floor, using your chest and your back as well as your arms. So it's not to say you're not using your arms, but let's use those big muscle groups as well. And we'll just keep talking to make John do more. But no, in all reality, he's keeping his core very engaged. You can see his body was nice and flat.
Rest 2.
Rest 2 minutes. And we go to 21, 15, 9, kettlebell clean and jerks and V-ups. So you have alternating kettlebell clean and jerks. So he starts with one side, cleans the kettlebell up, and then jerk overhead. When you want to focus on that jerk is pulling underneath the kettlebell. He's going to switch arms and do it on the other side, maybe.
Maybe.
And when he pulls his body underneath for the jerk portion of the motion. Notice how he lets that kettlebell almost circle around his arm so that it's not coming up and over his hand, hitting himself in the forearm. You end up with forearm bruises when you're doing kettlebell clean and jerks. You're probably letting that kettlebell come over your hand as opposed to circling around. So that's a bad movement right there when he brings it around his hand. So he's almost coming around the outside of his arm. So that should
keep that elbow in, guys, too. Keep that elbow in. See, I hate to do it like, whoa, way out there, you're gonna hurt someone. Keep the elbow in. You're not doing a barbell clean.
Good. Good point. And V-ups. Everyone loves
This should be
V-ups.
fun after my ab workout this morning.
A lot of abs this morning. All right, so he starts. See, notice how he keeps his hands and his feet off the floor at all times. He's keeping that tight core position. He's focusing on pulling his abs in, not letting them pooch out. He's pulling them in and crunching his body in. If that's too much, you can modify by crunching your legs in. Again, focus on that same thing. Pull your abs in nice and tight. Keep good core engagement. That'll help you get to the point of a traditional V-up, but that's the scaled version. You're gonna rest 2 minutes again after that. Then you have 12, 9, 6, thrusters and bent over rows. Is that demonstration of resting?
I'm resting.
It's resting.
Closing my
I
eyes.
don't rest like that. 12,
Just in
9,
case
6.
you're confused on how to rest.
Thrusters, bent over rows. So again, you've got alternating thrusters. So you're going to go ahead, come down into that good squat position, press that kettlebell all the way up overhead.
Alternate sides?
Yes,
Or you want me to switch?
on the ground.
So I have to do another clean? So you're telling me I have to do another clean?
It's only
Jerry,
12, 9, 6.
it's another
12,
clean.
9, 6.
She's tricky. Oops, I did a clean and jerk. Sorry. She's trying to confuse us from earlier.
If you are confused, you can switch in the air.
I probably won't see you switch there.
All right, very good.
If you work out behind Jenny, she won't see that.
Good. Alternating thrusters. Now bent over rows. Same thing. Alternating bent over rows. John's going to stand to the side. Notice again, he's hinging at the hip. Keeps his back nice and tight, nice and core is nice and engaged. He's pulling that kettlebell up using his lats and his triceps. Don't let yourself lose that when you do some back form, round back, using momentum, etc. All right, let's talk about some bad ones. All right, he's using momentum to pull the kettlebell up. He's no longer using his lats, or now he's pulling himself down towards the kettlebell. He's almost kipping that kettlebell. He's been kipping
I'm
it.
having trouble trying to do some bad ones. Besides this is common, bringing your chest. That's to the extreme, but you see a lot of people bring their chest up on this.
Right.
Trying to think in there. Again, you have a mirror at home. You know, we don't like mirrors in CrossFit very much.
Because then you get to see you.
They get all fingerprints on there, but you know, sometimes filming yourself is what I tell a lot of people. Film yourself, look at your own technique after the workout to help out.
All right.
That it?
That's it. That's
All
it.
right.
Once you're done with the
That's
12
it.
and 6, then you're done.
28 minutes? Is that what you said?
28 minutes. I'd say it should be about a 30-minute workout today. So little bit on the longer side, working that longer domain. So again, it's not gonna feel quite as fast, but you do have this 2-minute rest built in, and the 28 minutes that I had was including all the 2-minute rests. So keep that in mind. You're probably gonna have closer to about 20 minutes of work. Try to keep moving strong and with good movement patterns, but moving fast as well. And if you agree that campground should remain open, go check out the petition.
All right, squat challenge. Bottom of the squat. We're gonna make dinner. Uh-oh.
I don't even know what I'm gonna make for dinner.
Oh, well, you gotta be here.
I got
Hold here. All right, hold that bottom of the squat. Find somebody at that cash out. We're gonna hold here. It might go on for a while, so we won't make you guys suffer another 4 or 5 minutes. I know I can hold it for another 4 or 5.
Sure.
I think she's gonna give out right now on the film.